So, good evening, good morning, and welcome to the Circle of Harmony with the title being New Beginnings on this January 1st, 2023. So, thank you for joining me because, again, because it's a sharing circle, it's a joint learning space, and there's so much that one can learn. One might not even think one is adding value, and yet with those questions, with the comments, with the doubts, with the confusion, I've seen how much, I mean, I don't know about others, but I have grown and seen so many different windows through which we can also see and change our views. So thank you again.
Yeah, Taru, I just want to share, a quick thing today morning. And, just now you shared, we learn from each other, each other's questions, doubts. And day before yesterday, when Jagan was asking, see, I do so many mistakes, but still, will the mother forgive me? Some questions he was asking. So today morning, I made some sweet to offer to the mother. It was, something happened. It was not good, but I didn't know because, when we offer to God, you won't taste it. So I just kept in front of the mother, and after praying, when I tasted, it was horrible. It was very bitter. Then I felt very bad, and my husband was also feeling very bad. See what type of sweet we have offered to the mother. Then, for a second, I was upset. Then Meera came and she said, Amma, we have to offer our good and bad. That is what mother likes. It is okay. You didn't know, you didn't taste it, you didn't do it purposely. So like the other day, how Jagan was asking, she is the mother, mother of all. She is the mother supreme. So she will forgive us. She won't take it, otherwise don't feel bad. So that way Jagan's question, it helped me. Yeah, it was beautiful. Then I stepped back and I said sorry to the mother. Then I offered something else, some chocolate or something. Since I offered this bitter thing to the mother, then I offered some this sugar candy. See, like that, we definitely, a small question, it answers, it just goes inside us. It can, it takes some other form, it gives some relief. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jagan. It helped me.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, Adaji, once I was quite young, I was in school and I had a best friend, Shilpi Kalia, that was her name. And I had gone to her house and I don't know, something happened. Like she was angry and she banged her door, the front door. Hi, Ritu. And there was a picture of, I don't even remember, I think Lord Shiva, like whoever her family used to believe in, and because she had banged the door, the picture fell on the ground. And suddenly she got like she had, those beautiful big eyes, and she got so scared, like considering that, oh my God, my whatever has, because of me, the God is on the floor. But then suddenly we had this, she got so scared, and I just, I didn't know what I was saying, but I just said, is God not on earth? Is earth not God? It is, right? So if an ideal or if a picture is on the ground, why do I have to be scared? Why do I have to say that, oh my God, what did I just do, right? So, like, say, you just gave an example of the sweet, which wasn't sweet, it was bitter. But who has made these tastes, right? Like the divine. And if I think I like sweet, maybe she does like bitter. I don't know. These are different. So, again, see how limited my thinking is, right? Like if we go to culture, things are different, tastes are different. Some like pungent, some like sweet, some like, like, And bitter has a beautiful taste. People have bitter chocolates, right? Bitter ice creams, like the bitter, the better. You hear these things. So thinking that only this is fit to be offered, right? So basically, what we are doing here is we are offering ourselves, right? The whole of me. So then these small things, they are not really of much importance, because if myself I am offering, whatever I'm doing, not doing is automatically being offered, right? But if I can still consciously do that, that's beautiful. But I think these, again, although it's, whenever the reason I shared that example was that whenever we believe that the divine is concerned, somehow, again, we are like more at not ease. We are more aware, okay, what am I doing? What am I offering? What am I, right? Like, where am I placing this or that? Do we actually think that they would care for that? If I am sincere, if what I made, like what you made, if it's done in, devotion with love, that's it, right? Nothing else. Like, it tastes horrible, but I made it with love, and that's enough, right? Like, say, if I have a small child, if he makes something and it's horribly tasting, and I know he wanted to give that to me, right? It's the most
Very.
beautiful thing in the world, right? So just not kind of, in the sense, we shouldn't make this relationship alien, right? We shouldn't make
Yes.
it bigger than it is. It's just a relationship between a mother and a child. The God, which is in me, which is in my every cell. So it's a relationship of myself with my higher self, actually, right? Because that
Beautiful.
light is within me. So we must give this up, that it's somebody else. And why would they mind anything? Why would we even go to the point of, oh, they'll forgive me? Forgive you for what? Right? Like,
Yeah. Very true, Taru. Beautiful. Thank you. So it really clears the mind, Don't need to,
yeah.
feel guilty or sad. It has happened, that's all, We do not know whether the mother likes bitter or sweet.
Yeah.
Just because we like sweet, we are offering sweet to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So one more thing before starting the session. See, we have a mother's calendar. I have the mother's calendar in all my wardrobes in the whole house. So whenever I open the door, I'll see her. So, the previous years, now we stopped buying calendars from the ashram because, we have enough. And, now slowly we are maturing. But those days we got to, buy so many calendars. So each year from 10-15 years, all the calendars will be, I'll put tape in all the wardrobes inside. You will not be able to see outside, but inside door I used to put. And whenever I open the wardrobe, I just do pranam and I will take the thing and again close the wardrobe. That is this one. See, one of the wardrobes, I was, keeping something and taking it out. The mother's photo was torn. I was feeling so miserable. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Then, it took some time for me to come out of that guilt. So maybe half an hour later, I just, came out of that guilt. Mother, it's sorry. I am very sorry. I don't know how it torn also. When I opened, it was just, half was just hanging. So it took some time. Then I said sorry to the mother so many times. Then I thought, Chichi, I should not feel like this. So I don't know how it happened. So definitely mother will forgive me. And, immediately our mind thinks about all the sentiments in the world. This is stone. Everything should be all right. Something should not, no, some bad should not happen. All that, the mind connects very, very fast. So immediately I put the tape beautifully. Now it is not seen at all, whether it is stone. But whenever I do pranam only, again, my mind is not accepting. Mother, I made this photo tone because of my, carelessness. So that was also just now it answered that question also, my thought, whatever you were sharing just now. Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Radhaji.
yeah. Yeah, Happy New Year, Taru. Sorry,
You too.
Ritu. Yeah, rafters. After a long time we are meeting.
Happy New Year, Jagan, Cyrus, Sulakshna ji, and our
Thank you. A very happy New
Happy
Year
New
to
Year.
all of you.
Wish you the
New Year,
same.
Naji. Yeah.
So where do we begin? Happy New Year. We all want newness, right? Newness feels beautiful both outside and inside, right? Like a new home, or if say something is messed up and we, I don't know, get it repaired or refurbished or repainted, it feels beautiful. It is nice to look at, it pleases the senses. And in myself too, I would aspire for a lot of new things, a lot of things that I could do differently. And yet, just before the session, I was just sitting, I was thinking about the New Year resolutions and how I could, when I used to keep them as a child, how I could never, I don't know, keep any New Year resolution. And I don't know if anybody is able to. We all want new things, we all want changes, we all want to be better versions of ourselves. And of course, we do succeed at a lot of levels. And yet, it is quite challenging, right? Like, there's an aspiration for growth and newness. And yet, there is something that holds me back. So I reflected on that. And I think it was a good reflection. If we all can right now, if we have the capacity, just close our eyes and just think about what, just connect with something that I want within me, any change outside or inside me. If inside, that's great. And what stops me? Like, what stops me from evolving to that new self or becoming that new self? And then we can just share and see what comes. Yeah, Cyrus, sorry. What I had said was like what I just typed, that we all want certain changes in our lives, certain things that we want to be, or, some characteristics, some things that we would rather be than who we are. And yet it's really tough. Like change is always tough. Newness, it feels beautiful. Even saying, Happy New Year. It feels good. There's something good about the word new, a new, fresh. And yet it's hard, right? Change is hard. Evolving is hard. So just was requesting everyone, and Asham had joined, I didn't realize. So this is for Sham too. So just requesting for us to reflect on why does it take, what stops me? Why is change so hard? Practically thinking about my life, one thing that probably I want to change, or I have been wanting to change, and I have not been able to, what could be the reason?
Yeah, Taru.
Yes, Adhi.
I see. I am very reactive. If somebody says something, I will get upset immediately. So I want to get rid of this characteristic from me. But even today, I tried. My husband was saying something. I could feel, I'm getting angry. The anger just goes to the brain. I'm able to feel that blood, just gushing there. So I think this is the ego which is stopping me from, not reacting. I want to get rid of that. If somebody says something, let them say, no problem. So it is easy to say now, but when things happen, it is not happening so easily. I think my ego is stopping me.
And why does Sadaji, the ego, you think, stops us? What is the reason? Do we know the basic workings as per our understanding?
I think I want everybody to listen to me. No, what I'm saying, I'm not able to conclude, Taru, but something says me that this is my ego.
Yeah, no,
I
no,
don't
I
know.
agree with that. But I'm saying now, moving on,
Yeah.
why does the ego stop us from change? Do we know that? Like, what is the reason?
No, I'm not able to think about it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Sarfaji. Yes, thank you for sharing. Whoever is ready, whenever they are, if they could unmute this here.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yes, Ritu.
Yeah, so one thing is the same exactly like Sharda ji. I'm also super reactive. So I get angry very soon with the slightest of instigation. So I have been trying to just be a little better and think I'm a little better, but still it keeps coming back. So what I think the reason for this is that I get too into that moment. I mean, too engrossed into that moment. I am able to, my mind is able to justify that, yes, this anger is justified. Yes, what you are thinking and what you are expecting is justified. So I think I get too involved. I mean, I'm not able to detach myself and see it from a distance that this is not justified. Whatever happens, anger is not justified. So this is one thing I want to change. And another thing is that I've always, I mean, for the past 2 3 years, I've been, ever since COVID thing happened, I used to do a lot of things in the morning. 1 hour of meditation, yoga. I used to listen to a mystique for an hour. So that was a beautiful morning all the time during the COVID days. So now, because the work has started again and the daily rush in the morning, I want to now wake up very early morning and do all those things. But I only just think and I put an alarm, but I don't actually do it. Sometimes when your morning session starts at 6:30, I feel happy that okay, at least I'm waking up early. So sometimes when my car cleaner calls me up very early in the morning, the first reaction is to get a little angry with him. But then I feel very good. Okay, at least for this reason, I'm able to wake up in the morning. So that is laziness, inertia, and maybe that will is not that strong as it should have been. Because if that desire was so strong to do that, maybe I would have done that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That was a very elaborate view on it. Happy to hear the various reflections. Yes.
Yes, I become so sorted.
Yes. Mm. No, see, even if you say this, right? See, I have become so sorted. You don't mean it, right? Somehow
Huh.
we are self-critical, and the truth is we have, right? Like we have. It's like I feel this is, how we talk about unkindness, right? Like I think this is really unkind on our part, that even if I want to say something which is true, and it is, because I'm so used to kind of saying things in a meaner way, in a critical way, and it's not right. Like, say, if you would hear me talking to, say, my kid like that, right? That if I'm very critical, you would tell me to stop, right? You would say that if you cared about either of us, you would say that it doesn't sound nice. Why do you do that, right? The same thing can be expressed in love. So similarly, I mean, why is it that I don't want to do this for myself? Why am I okay giving these comments? And I do that too. And that's why I resonate more strongly.
No,
And we
but
should,
see,
yeah.
I think I need to be more strict with myself because being nice to myself is not helping. So, like you use the word dog's tail. So, it's like being like a dog's tail only. I mean, wanting so much to do something, talking so much about it that I want to do it, and still not doing it.
And yet
So,
there are things that you have been able to do, right? Like whenever I sit that this is all this that I have not been able to do. I have somebody in my neighborhood who is going through a divorce, and she was in an abusive relationship, and yet one day she was able to just get up and walk away. And now the other things would follow, that the court cases and stuff. And she keeps getting scared, right? She keeps getting scared about the uncertainty of things. And I keep reminding her, and I've requested her to remind herself 10, 15, 20 times a day that the most difficult thing that was to be done, what was that? That was the decision to walk away, right? Like after, I don't know, 20 years of marriage, 2 children, and all. So the main thing has already been done. So I have to give myself credit for that, right? Anytime the fear comes next time, that will I be able to, will I be able to? If I am looking at the facts, and if I see that yes, because I was able to take that step, I will, the courage will come, the faith will come. So I also have to give some regard, some appreciation to myself for, and thank grace for the things that I am able to do. So your comment was, see, I'm so sorted. Sorted means at least I know what all is there, right? Like I am yet, at least I know. One thing is that my house is all upside down, right? And I don't know what thing goes where. And you're saying that, see, I know what thing goes where, but I'm not be able to put it yet where it belongs, right? But then you cannot self-criticize yourself that yes, I just know what all is there. That is a very good thing, that good that you know what goes where. Because most of us don't know what goes where, right? And now that you know what goes where, yes, you have an additional responsibility, a duty rather, to yourself to put where things belong. But that does not take away from the fact that now you know, because this knowing also comes with lot of grace, lot of mindfulness. Right? Not many people want to wake up in the morning. You do. You were able to do it then, right? And once you were able to, you could do it now. So yes, you're talking about will, sincerity, laziness. Very good. And at least now we know what we are dealing with, right? And we can give more attention to it. That is another thing, but that cannot take away from the fact that you do know what you know. And I can say that with love that, yes, yes, and you must do it. You must do it, because somehow criticism, like even as children, if something was said to us with love or with a critical frame, who did we listen to more, right? Just that we must take these cues from our own childhood, from movies, from outside life. So just we must stop. I think, enough, 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 enough. I was sharing it, I think on Saturday morning only I had shared this, how I had met somebody, an energy worker who had explained that thing. So I'll just share that again. I forget where I shared it. I had met an amazing person. She works with energies and souls, and I don't know what it felt like. I'm in a different world. So he was saying that, there are different paradigms, right? So the top is love, say benevolence, like, that's making the world go round. Like that's the God energy, compassion, love, caring for one another, kindness. So that's the top. And she said that the bottom is made of blame and shame. So anytime I'm blaming or I'm putting, shame on myself or on the other, that's the lowest level at which I can operate. So whatever is going there pulls me further up. Whatever is going in this direction pulls me further down. So anytime I'm saying myself, it's like a punch, a blow to me. The तेरे से नहीं होगा यार, तू छोड़ दे, बस सोचती रहती है, right? Like it just pulls me down further and further, and I shouldn't do that to me anymore. There was, I think I was just reading something randomly, but it would fit here. I'll just share it. Give me 1 second. It still might be open. Yeah, I think it would be relevant. So, Ritu, if you could just read this for us.
Dear Mother, for the past 2 days, I have felt a great despair and sadness. So much that I think if it goes on for a few days more, it may be very difficult for me to get rid of these things. I don't know what is going to happen, but I can't help thinking that if I remain in this condition all the time and if I can't ever be happy, it will soon be impossible for me to live. During these 2 days, in this sadness and despair, I had the idea of committing suicide. Don't be afraid, I won't commit suicide. I'm only telling you about my condition in order to let you know about it. There are thieves in the subtle world,
So this
just
is
as
mother's answer. This is what mother says now.
there are thieves in the subtle world, just as in the outer world, but you must close to them the doors of your thoughts and feelings as carefully as prudent man bolts the doors of his house. These suggestions of sadness, despair, and suicide come from them, the thieves of the vital world, because it is when you are depressed that they are best able to rob you. You must not listen to them, you must reject the wicked suggestions and become yourself once again. That is to say, my little smile.
So just the idea was just to, bring this to attention again. When mother says that when you're not smiling, when you're unhappy, know that you are insincere, right? So that means anything that is taking me towards criticism, blame, shame, depression is coming from the wrong center. So the thieves in the subtle world. So anytime now, next time, if I make any mistake or if I feel I am not doing anything I could be doing and it's taking me down, just knowing that this is the thief from the subtle world from which mother had warned me. So I must close my door to those thoughts and feelings that pull me down. Because, right now, say I'm not doing anything. I want to do something and I'm not doing it. And okay, I'm here. I'm not doing, but I'm here. But when I start thinking about, I'm good for nothing. Oh, I will never do it. Oh, I go further away from the goal, which is here. So even if I'm not doing anything, rather than encouraging myself that yes, probably from 6 months you have not been able to, but tomorrow is another day. If I want to wake up and, do certain things in the morning, if I'm not able to get up, maybe I can do them tonight, a little bit of them, change the ways. If the morning is not happening, start doing them at night before sleeping, some of them. And like you suggested that, you were saying that if you have a goal, that if somebody wakes you up, if there is a knock, if there's a session, you do wake up. So give yourself this goal. Say you can maybe, say that, okay, I have to get up every morning at 6 and I don't know, send somebody this message. I have to do it. There's no if and but about it. We can give us knowing. Again, how they say that an aimless life is a miserable life. I too have seen it really closely that unless I give myself something which is bigger than me, a goal which is bigger than me, an aim which is bigger than my regular petty things, these petty things have the capacity to consume us. Knowing how the brain works, and if we are intelligent, we can manipulate ourselves too, right? That okay, she can't do this without a goal. Like she means I'm not able to do this without a goal. Let me give a goal. Let me set targets. Let me, do them. How for kids we give stars and we give that, okay, if you do this, you will get that. If you like something, say if you like tea or if you like, I don't know, milk, just say that every time I don't wake up, that whole day I will not get to have that. Give yourself these punishments, these rewards that we can try doing that as well. But that would be something constructive. Even if there's a punishment involved, it's constructive, it's not critical. So just we can do better is what I just wanted to say. Sorry, you said a small thing and I caught on that, but I feel very strongly about that. Yeah.
No, it's nice. I'll
Yeah.
try maybe change my attitude.
Yeah, and we have to pay attention to the words, to the thoughts we are speaking for ourselves and others. Why do I have to comment? Why do I have to be judgmental? Because, there's always this thing that I know. अगर इतना ही पता है तो कुछ करके दिखाओ ना फिर. ये बोल बोल के क्या कर रहे हैं हम, right? In thoughts से, in comments से. We're just we can do better is all I want to say for myself, like not putting you on the spot at all. I see that in myself too a lot, these comments that I think they don't mean anything, these snide comments, and yet I deserve better. Okay, should we take some, whoever is ready, the exercise that we were doing?
Tadu, I would like to I get up very early in the morning and I do sit for meditation, but I'm not able to do it for very long. I can keep sitting. Disciplining the body is not the issue. Disciplining the mind is the problem. The mind is very, very hyper, and it moves on and then it justifies itself that never mind, just sitting and closing my eyes is not the only thing. I can read something, I can do, and I do. I'll put on some chants and I'll sit for about an hour and a half. I sit early morning. But I would like to be able to maybe meditate for a longer time. And this is the mind which is playing these games. I'm very aware of that, but yet not able to do much about it.
Yeah. And why, the main thing to think is, why is that? Why do you think we are unable to change?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yes, fair enough. Thank you so much for that, Michael. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else or? Yeah.
Yes, my old habit is procrastinating, and my new habit is to not do that. Observation I've made is I used to think, it's because I'm lazy, or it's because, um, you know, I want to stay in the comfort zone, which are actually true to an extent. But I also found that, not having a list of things in a day-to-day basis on what okay, I'm waking up at this time, so what should I begin with? Even the slightest of things, even as far as brushing my teeth, even that is a task. So I had to kind of, write down a list, and I had to, install a habit tracker on my phone. There are certain things that I do on a regular basis, and then there are things that come, that are not recurring. um, so it's been going on for a while. It's been like a couple of months that I started following this. And the problem is that one week I'm able to, check mark everything. I'm able to do everything. And then a weekend hits, and, I hang out with my friends, somewhere else, totally away from all this. Then I come back on Monday, and I feel that, I cannot follow this again anymore. I cannot go back into the routine. It's like an on and off relationship, like my cooking, exactly, like so inconsistent. So yeah, so that is something I found a possible solution to address this procrastinating behavior. But then sticking to that solution is what I find is challenging sometimes. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagan. So I think that's all the people wanted to share.
So
So
I have,
yes, please. Yes, hi, Meera.
hi. So yeah, so for me as well, there are like these 2, 3 things that I would want to do during the day. Um, but what I've observed is that I get really lost in the day, that I forget what I was supposed to do. Like for instance, I get so like there are these set of activities which I do over and above my actual work, right? And this is something that I don't happen to pay that much attention to as compared to finishing whatever is supposed to be done for work. And that I've observed is because one is I get too lost in the day, and then even at the end of the day, like I forget it, and then the next day happens, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this haven't done this consistently. I may be able to get myself to do it maybe for a day or two, but again, it's the same pattern. I think I just get lost inside the web of thoughts or happenings of the day that I forget what actually I wanted to do. And yeah, of course, along with laziness, but yeah, this is a bigger problem, I think.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, I forgot to add one last point. Also, visualization of what I'm going to do in the day. It's also helped me, but then a clumsy, cluttered mind doesn't let me do that. So yeah, that is also one point.
Yeah, thank you, Jagan and Meera. So let's quickly go through this thing, no matter what the issue is. Okay, let's look at the reasons why we believe that we can see, why we are not able to do things. And when I was thinking, these were some of the things that I could just see. Okay, so ego stops me. So I know that ego stops me. I know ego is my lower self, right? I have a higher self in me, a truer self, and ego is my false self, which tells me things to be true, which are not, which likes to cling things, which doesn't like change, and which does not want my progress or evolution. It just wants it to be the boss of things, me to have certain images, certain things, and to stick to them. So I know that there's something called the ego, which is my false step, which stops me every time. So if somebody says something to me, I react, right? That mujhe kaise bol diya? How dare somebody could say this? I try that, I do this, I do so much, and yet fingers are being pointed at me, comments are being given to me, I am not appreciated. So this I is the ego, and I know that this is something that I have to transcend. I know that ego is something that keeps pulling me back. So, the question was that why am I not able to go towards the new, even though I would want to? So, what was coming out was that because I'm so sticking to the old, right? There's so many clingings, so much there in the old that I'm still stuck to, that I am not yet convinced that I can do better. It's not serving me. I can do more. I can do better. That would be good. So because I'm sticking to the old, I am unable to go towards the new. So one thing was that was what I saw when we were sharing. And one of the factors that does that is the ego. It stops me. And then here it said that can't detach. So again, the sticky point, right? Why can't I go towards the new? Because I am sticking to the old. Next, I am able to justify my patterns. Who is able to justify the patterns? Again, ego, right? I do this way. This is a better way. I know. And, I have to do something. So again, I, sticking, and then again the ego. Lazy, yes, we are lazy inherently. There is this, coming from the stones. There is the stone consciousness in us too. And I know that I am lazy, and I know that so beautifully I have been able to see that. But whenever I have a goal, so many people know about sessions, and there's so many people who would want to do those things, get up and do those things, and yet they have not been able to, even with reasons. But at least I know that when I have a reason, I have a goal, I am able to push, I am able to push myself. So good for me. And now let me give myself goals. So I probably need goals and aim in life, and the fact that I'm not able to do that, that means I need to set up more goals or aims. So that was one thing that came to me. Will is not that strong. Absolutely. So will is not that strong. I don't know whether I know how nice it feels when I wake up early if I want to, or do something that I want to, and yet it feels that when I go to sleep, There's a different person who goes to sleep, who has, who's strong-willed and who's saying that, yes, yes, I'll wake up. And there's a different person who wakes up, who doesn't want to get out of the bed. So aligning the will with that goal, with that aim would be something. Disciplining the mind is tough. Disciplining the body is easy. So here we saw that disciplining the body was tough. And yet the thing was that they want to get up. Here they said disciplining the body is easy, but disciplining the mind is tough. And they were able to get up, but they didn't know they wanted to do more when, they were getting up. So one thing again that was very beautifully striking was that in general, we have this nature which is not content, right? No matter what I do, I would always be discontent that I can do better. And that sounds bad. And yet that is the beautiful thing, right? This discontent pushes me forward that I can be more. Okay, I've disciplined the body, for example, here. Now I have to discipline the mind. I have to discipline the vital. I have to discipline whatever that I need to discipline. But it's not about, I cannot lose my peace or my, I cannot let this make me agitated, because then that would defy the purpose, knowing that I have this itch for more and doing what I can, I will do that. But again, just going to the reasons right now. And one of the reasons, again, very honest, was I don't know why we are not able to go towards the new. Then there was procrastination. Again, falling into laziness, comfort zones. I think this comfort zone really, the comforts really go opposite to the what we actually want to do, right? Comforts wants me. Okay, so there's a discontent that tells me I must do more. And then there is the one in me who is seeking comfort, safety, who says, "Arey, theek hi to chal raha hai." So there is this, quest between, that is why the opposite will is created. That is why the aim is not strong, because either I can be safe or I can go for adventures. It's not possible that I want to go for adventures, but I want to say I don't want to get out of bed. It's too cozy, right? And yet something in me wants to cry that, oh, you don't do anything. Life is so boring. And yet, when I get an opportunity to get up and do stuff, I don't want to do that. So some realism related to my goals, right? What do I want in my life? Okay, I want safety. Then I cannot have adventure. Just looking at facts and being a little bit more sincere and honest about them. So the person, I was sharing about, like the one who's separating, we were having this conversation that, the ultimate thing, the most important thing for us is to have peace, right? To have just this not have this restless, this fearful mind. And yet, when we are proceeding with our everyday, what is our priority? Is it that what settlement will I get? What alimony will I get? What child support will I get? Am I lost in the numbers? Or there too, I say that, if I'm praying, am I praying that, okay, let me at least get $100,000 from that guy? Or is it that no matter what I get, you keep me in peace? So I can't keep going for things that I feel are important and they are taking me away from peace, and yet keep saying, not in an honest way, falsely keep claiming that, but all I want is peace. So just aligning my actions with my thoughts and seeing things for what they are, that okay, right now, peace is secondary. Right now, I want numbers. Those are the ones that are more important to me. But on the way, if I lose peace, it's okay, because I know it's probably a battle for a year or two. And I'm okay living in fear, living with butterflies, living with nervousness, and not having peace, because this case is very important, this court case, these decisions. I'm more important. So at least then I know I'm honest. It's you suffer more. I suffer more when I look at things with honesty. And then probably I can drop them when the time is right. List possible solutions. Again, they are don't mostly align with what I want to do. Lists are good, but again, if I don't believe in what I am writing, sometimes I just don't have the motivation, because something that I truly believe in, I would not have issues in, kind of manipulating myself, pushing myself lovingly towards that. And if I keep getting back, I must see that who am I what am I walking towards? What am I sticking to? And if comfort is what I'm sticking to, I should stop making this list. I should say that, okay, mujhe nahi karna, let it be. There will be a time when I will be fed up of it and I would want to start again. So I think it's okay to stop, to start, to experiment, and but can't stick to them. This was shared, but every time I am sticking to something. If I'm not sticking to my goal, if I'm not sticking to a higher aim, I am sticking to my belief, I am sticking to my comfort, I am sticking to gains and losses. And I must acknowledge that in all sincerity, so that at least I can live in honesty. So sticking to the old stops me from going towards the new. Get lost in the day. Yes, it's all cluttered, it's disorganized. Whatever I do, I get lost in that. And if I'm finding joy in it, if I'm at peace, that's good. And if it's a clumsy, cluttered mind, I can, if I want, I must organize it a bit to see what fits where, what should go there, where. That at least I know that this is the reason why I feel stuck. These were the things that I kind of wrote down when I was reflecting on it, that, a lot of times we can't go towards the new because maybe we feel we have no choice. There are entanglements, which again would be the sticky thing, entanglements with the past. Lot of times we don't know where to start. Okay, if I say close your eyes and think about a dream, something that you would want to be, we can think of things, and yet a lot of times we don't know where to start, so we say just forget it, maybe it sounds too tough. We don't know how to let go. Again, the sticky thing, right? For me to hold something new, I first have to empty my hand. I have to let go of what I'm holding, my ego mostly, which I'm not able to. I might not do new things because I might believe it hurts others. Again, when I'm sitting here and thinking it would hurt them, and if I'm going against my inner voice, then I don't know whether it's enabling them or disabling them, or I don't know whether that's good for their evolution or not. So taking a broader view whenever possible. And because we are not present, because we are so attached to the past, it's like life is living us rather than we living our life. Like lives are dictating us. You know how Meera had shared that getting lost in the day is leading us rather than we leading the day. And we like things to be predictable, because when they are predictable, when they are known, I have this false sense that I am in control, that I am dictating life, I am doing things. But when everything is predictable, and if I feel that, oh, I am the master, I am controlling things, that's not true, right? If things are unpredictable and ever changing, and I am taking risks and I am doing this, then I can say, okay, I am the master and I am on top of things. But there's something about me that wants to cling to the old, the known, the patented. Yeah, so yes, please, I hope there are some sharings. I don't know for how long I have been talking. So those were some of the things that, I thought that would be a good place to begin with. That wanting new, and yet things stop me. Why am I being stopped? On our groups, this prayer was shared. I am assuming it's mother's prayer, but I think, yeah, it must be. So here there was one thing that I really liked, the first paragraph especially. Would anybody want to read it aloud for us? This was shared in all the groups.
Yeah, I know. O Lord, grant that this collective convention of the ending year be for us also the occasion to put an end to a whole lot of bonds and attachments, illusions and weaknesses which have no longer any purpose in our lives. At every moment, we must shake off the past like falling dust, that it may not soil the virgin path which at every moment also is opening before us. Should I read the next one, sir? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we
May-
can, but I just wanted to reflect on the first one for now. But yes, please do. We can read it at least. Yeah.
Okay. May our mistakes acknowledged and rectified within us be no more than vain mirages, powerless to bring any consequences, and pressing our foot down firmly upon all that no longer should exist, on all ignorance, all obscurity, all egoism. May we take our flight boldly towards wider horizons and intenser light, a more perfect compassion, a more disinterested love towards thee.
Yeah, thank you, Mehan. So, just reflecting on this, that we keep saying, we keep having resolutions, we do wish each other Happy New Year, but there's nothing new that really happens most of the time for most of us, right? Year on year and year on year goes by. We wish, we are happy, we celebrate, and yet nothing much changes. And here there is a prayer that led me on this, during this time when there is this collective wish for newness, put an end to a whole lot of bonds and attachments, illusions and weaknesses. How will I put an end to bonds and attachment, illusions and weaknesses? Firstly, if I come to know what I'm bonded to, what I'm attached to, I am living in illusions and I have weaknesses. And what was most beautiful for me was which have no longer any purpose in our lives. You know how Ritu was sharing that when I'm doing something that I don't want to do, say if I'm getting angry at something or somebody and I don't want to, and yet during that moment, I am able to justify the presence of that anger or that reaction. So that means that I still believe that it's serving me, right? That I am not convinced fully yet that it's not serving a purpose in my life, or what the purpose that it's serving is a wrong lane to go. So I must look at it more closely, I must pray or aspire more that I should now see that this is no longer serving me. The same anger, the same reaction, the same patterns, they were needed to bring me to a place where I am. They were mechanisms for me to become who I am. And yet now when I know where I am, I can see it's not serving any purpose in my life. I must at least will if I'm not able to do. I must at least pray if I'm not even able to put it in action, that I want to rise above now. So put an end to a whole lot of bonds, attachments, illusion, weaknesses which have no longer any purpose in our life, because till I think it has a purpose, I will stick. And if I am convinced it's not serving any purpose, it will be easier for me to open my hand. I'm holding on to something, holding on to something, holding on to something, and somebody tells me, it's poison, or it has something in it which will come out and punch me on my face. I'll drop it in a second. I don't have to be told. If I'm cooking, if my hand touches the fire or the flame, people don't have to tell me. I don't have to sit and read books that haath hataun ke nahi hataun. It's a reflex, right? Because I know it's hurting me. So similarly, my attachments, illusions, weaknesses, patterns, habits, can I see that they are hurting me, they are burning me, they are destroying me? Each negative comment I make to myself, at myself, it's hitting me. But I'm not convinced yet. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But if I want to change, I can look at it more closely. You know how we speak about being more mindful, which means being more present. Is that helping me or it's not? Is it? And in this case, again, if I have a goal again and again and again, that aim thing, that goal is coming, it will be easier for me, right? Is it taking towards me, it's taking me towards my goal or away from it? My goal, say, for example, is living a simple life, becoming simpler. So if I'm about to comment on somebody or have any reaction, am I going towards simplicity? And if I again leave that goal for some moment and just go and shout and scream and come, and then when I come back, again reflecting, was it helpful for me? I think. And it's a journey, right? It doesn't happen in one day. My lifetime, Abhi, 40 years, 30 years, 50 years, I have spent walking in a different direction. And now if I'm just even trying to stop, that I don't know what the right is, but I know so much wrong that I am doing, or in the wrong direction I'm going, it will take time for me to stop even. So having that kindness and that compassion to myself, that yes, I can see now. This seeing also is a very big blessing, acknowledging that. And then, of course, aligning the will, having goals and all. We know how now how to manipulate. I don't know why this word manipulate is coming to me again and again, but I would know how to arrange things now. I can start doing them now. It's not about yesterday, 2 days, 10 days, 10 years. Moving on, looking ahead, looking ahead. Tomorrow is a new day. So all the things that are on my list right now, and all of us would have a few things, I'm sure, sitting with them, giving ourselves maybe 5 minutes a day, having smaller tasks, smaller lists. Okay, I want to sit for meditation, just 5. Let me give myself 5 minutes. And if I sit for 5 minutes, if I'm liking it, I might myself extend it to 10, 20, 30. But when I'm trying to convince myself, having smaller goals, smaller wins, lists which are doable, which have some pleasure, some, rewards at the end. If I'm able to do this, this is what I'll get. Knowing that it's taking me to some place higher and not just again the regular grind, which I'm as it is avoiding. To मैं कैसे list करूंगी? And like, again, the prayer said that once we know it's not serving me, once we are convinced, must shake off the past like falling dust. We don't, falling dust, as in the dust which is not sticky. So if I'm convinced, I would not be able to even need much effort then, right? It's just how the leaves drop. It's time. They just drop. The tree let goes and they just fly away. But first, I need to be convinced, right, that it's time now, excuse me, for them to drop off. So that is something at my end that I need to put more effort in, to at least sit, see things for what they are, observe, become more open. because I'm so mostly sticking to the past that I am unable to see what all I am capable of, and what all can be done. Yeah, please requesting sharings and any comments.
Ma'am, when you were saying this, um, about giving ourselves small treats after accomplishing something, you know, let's say that meditation is also a habit I'm trying to incorporate. So I was always told that meditation is something that you must do without expectations, with a clear mind, and to not to not make it a transaction. Just do it for the sake of doing it. So, you know, it's actually very easy for me to do something when there is a reward following it. But since meditation needs to be done without any expectation, how can I incorporate this way of rewarding myself and still being able to meditate? Thank you.
So Jagan, now that like somebody who told you that it should not have any rewards, right? He's not you, right? That was his point of view. You know how the system works, right? Like if you have a dog, or if you have a cousin, a young cousin, right? If we have people around us, we know even with adults that okay, when I say this, they become happy. When I go there, when I do this, this makes them angry, right? We know. Similarly, if we know that rewards help me, and if I'm trying to make an habit, but somebody said that nahi nahi, ऐसे तो नहीं करना. So see how clever I am, that I'm just thinking अच्छा वैसे तो मैं कर नहीं सकता, रिवॉर्ड तो मैं दे नहीं सकता, बिना रिवॉर्ड के मैं करूंगा नहीं, तो देखो मैं कितना स्ट्रगलिंग हूँ, है ना? And what is the thing? The thing is that you don't end up doing it, right? So listen to everybody, but pick what suits you, right? What helps you. Somebody has told you that, okay, there should be no expectation, there should be no reward. That is true for everything in life. But if I can see that without aim, without reward, without, I don't know, some appreciation, I cannot work. So I must give it to me at least for me to get started, right? So like, for example, my child doesn't like fruits, certain fruits, or say soup. He never liked soup. So when he was not well, I asked him to watch his favorite cartoon and have soup. He watched it for 3-4 days, and then when had gotten the taste of the soup, I said, now he has started liking soup. And I would say that now you will not get TV anymore. Do you still want to drink soup? And he would say, yes, I like it now, right? So it's not that now, even for next 20 years, whenever he will have soup, he will need to watch, something to distract him. I know better than this, that I can. So it's just being clever. We are clever. We are so clever, using that cleverness in 100 places. Why not use it for us to, towards a greater goal?
The example was fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. Ritu, it feels you want to say something. Yeah.
And I was just thinking that I can tell myself that, okay, if I wake up early 6 days in a week, the seventh day, I'm going to take myself out for beer.
Huh? Whatever.
And
See, but you can take yourself out for beer without a reason, right? So do something that actually would make a difference, right? Do something that you usually don't do. I think you're stuck, or maybe, I don't know, my screen is stuck. So yeah, I mean, whatever the rewards are, they also have to be authentic and honest. So not something that you can do anytime, anyways, whatever works. But yeah, I mean, we must use these tools to go towards where we want to go.
Ma'am, before Ritu ma'am speaks, if you know, down the line, if you can give a few more examples of some, unathletic, no, like having a beer at something I can do anytime, but something non-authentic. If you can give us a few more examples,
Of
that'll give me a
rewards,
little, yes.
I think, Jagan, that would be a very personal thing. Say, okay, for me personally, rather than rewards, taking away something that I like works better for me. Say, I want to get up and do some exercises and some pranayam and all, and I have been lazy in the past, I don't know, 1, 2 months. So what works for me is that usually, say, if I would get up from say 6:30 to 7:30 and do it, and if I'm not able to get up, then I would try to do whatever I could once I got up, right? उसमें मुझे 15 मिनट मिलते थे, 20 मिनट मिलते हैं, मैं I'm like getting angry at my kid, अरे don't disturb me, I want to do this, I want to do that and stuff. So what I started doing was that I told myself that if I don't wake up at that particular time, I will not sit down for yoga that day. And that hurt me because those 10 minutes, 15 minutes that I used to kind of squeeze in, उससे मेरा थोड़ा satisfaction हो जाता था, right? It used to give me a sense, okay, I was able to do something. But then I thought कि नहीं, अगर नहीं उठ पा रहे हो तो मत करो, because then that wasn't pleasant for anybody. So, and say again, I like, say, drinking a cup of tea. If I want to do something and if I'm not able to do it, or if I lost something, again, my temper or something which I don't want to lose, I'll say, okay, now for next 7 days, no tea for you. So that next time when I'm about to do something or not do something, I'm a bit skeptical कि अगर फिर से ये punishment मिल जाएगी, right? Like something that I like, I don't do that. So anything that works for me, anything that I like, say you like to call your mother, say every evening, for example, you say कि if you're not able to do it, and it have to be authentic stuff, right? You काम का, I'm not saying कि अगर 8 घंटे काम करते हो तो 11 घंटे करना है तो अपने आप को reward या वो दो, but things that actually matter for evolution and all, for your, towards your own growth, especially for those, rewarding or yeah, or yeah, taking away things that you like, they help me at least on a temporary basis till that habit comes back, till that process comes back. Mm,
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a lot of self-control if you can manage that. I mean, trust me. I mean, like, for example, I love tennis. I can't tell myself that if I don't do this, I'll give up tennis for a week. I mean, so, that's tremendous if you can have that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would like to thank everyone for sharing the example. But even I think I'm in that same place that, we kind of every year we say, I'll do this and do that. But, I think I make a start and then at some level, it just falls away. I mean, I was trying to think, but I'm not really sure yet, I've even tried to break it down sometimes, few of the goals, that has helped a few times, because we have so many 10, 15. So I go one at a time. That has helped in the past, rather than putting pressure and saying, I'll do all these 20. So that part has helped. But, I mean, I still think it's, a lot of effort I have to put, on this side. And again, just small, simple things. It's not like something, like you said about morning. I also need to do a few, like, some core exercises and all that I say I'll do, which I find quite boring and all, like, So
Yeah.
just simple things like that, but, so anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Simon. Jagan, one example could be that I would take the bus and not drive if I didn't do what I wanted to do the whole day for you. Because the transit in Brampton is pretty bad and messy. So you'll learn a lesson.
That's actually a good one. I'll try to do that.
Yeah. So, there was a lot more I wanted to share or reflect on. Maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe we can take this topic again next week. And yet, there was this New Year's message from Mingur Rinpoche. He's a Buddhist monk, and I thought we could hear that together. I heard a little bit, and then we'll end the session for today. Just 1 second, it's
Can't hear.
you couldn't hear it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just end.
Couldn't
Yeah,
hear.
I'll restart. I don't know why I have to share it twice every time. Can you hear it now?
No.
No.
No?
Not yet.
Ma'am, I think there is a setting to switch to music. Yeah.
So now is the beginning of this new year.
You can hear it now?
So we will do some
Oh.
practice together. So first is appreciation. So no matter what happens, so we will do some practice together. So first is appreciation. So no matter what happened in this past year, but you're still alive, isn't it? We still have this body, we still have this sense. So normally, what we call the traditional practice, appreciation about 5 endowments, 5 richness, sometimes what we call. So just being alive, human, just being alive, number one. And having still, we have the freedoms. We still have some choice. We still have that basic innate qualities with all of us, no matter what happened. And we have senses, right? Whatever sense we have. And number 4 is we have the action. So all of you come here to join this video. Why? You have sense of wanting to change something, wanting to learn something, wanting to benefit for you, for the world, maybe for your family members. So there is awareness, there's a love and a compassion, there's wisdom. And we are acting on that right now, right here. So this the action, positive action, though a lot of up and down, still with us. And deeper level, we have this inspiration. Like normally what I talk about, the service level, there's a panic. But when I look at, I had panic attacks when I was young. So when I look at the deeper, I just want to be happy. Don't want to have problem, suffering. So that is wanting to be happy is love. Don't want to suffer is compassion. So that's the innate. And that feeling is in the awareness. So awareness, love and compassion, wisdom, embedded within us. So all this appreciation is really important to start something new. So traditional example is the first practice is this appreciation. Any spiritual practice, we do the beginning, what we call foundational practice. First foundation, there are 8 different foundational practice. The first one is appreciation. So let's try to do this together. Please, everybody keep your spine loosely straight. And please feel your body, relax muscles in your body. And feel the gravity in your body. And just relax. And now appreciate that you have this body. Appreciate that you are still breathing. And it's amazing. This body is amazing. Amazing organs, wonderful senses. So appreciate that whatever sense you have, the eyes, ear, nose, tongue, bodily sensation. And appreciate that we still have some freedom, choice. And we have basic innate goodness. All of us has awareness, love and compassion, wisdom, deeper level in our heart, in our mind. We all have that. And there's still many wonderful people around the world. Appreciate that. And they are doing great jobs also. And many people follow them. Now we will do what we call taking and sending practice. So we will send our love and compassion to all the people in this world with the breathing. So now we will breathing out slowly and send your love and compassion to all beings. Wish that may all beings happy and the causes of happiness. Slowly breathing in. Send your love and compassion to all beings in this planet. And slowly breathing in. When you're breathing in, wish that may all beings are free from problem, suffering. And continue, send your love and compassion to all beings. And when you breathe in, wish that they're all free from suffering and the problems. And now, when you're watching this video, many people are practicing like this. So they are sending love to you, and you can receive their love and compassion also. When you're breathing in, receive love and compassion from others. When you're breathing out, send your love and compassion to others. Okay, so now from today on, whatever you can to help to change the world better, try your best. And it doesn't matter what you do. Maybe you are working as normal work at your regular office or at home, but put your heart into your work and change through your work. Together with love and compassion and wisdom, all of us, we can change, try our best to change the world. Thank you very much.
Yes, so thank you for watching and thank you for joining in. If there are any comments, we'll be very happy to take them. Otherwise, we'll call this a session. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, good day. Happy New Year to everybody. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Taru. Happy New Year,
Happy
Ratu.
Happy New Year,
Happy New
everyone.
Year, Sham.